All right, good morning, everyone. Calling our meeting to order. I'll start with the roll call. If the other commissioners present can state their names.
Marcy Rourke.
Barbara Van.
Okay, and I'm Adam Murray. The three commissioners are all present. So we'll go ahead and go right into our open public comment period. Is there anyone here who would like to give us a public comment?
We do have somebody here in the hearing room.
Hi, I'm
Please.
Carmen DeLeon. I'm the one who filed on him because I have repeatedly told this Gary that I have PTSD and I don't like being triggered. And instead of respecting my disability, he's like poking the bear and laughing and snickering, and not just to me, other people. He's making goofy faces like a 5-year-old and constantly interrupting me. And the worst part is him calling me belligerent and bashing the military. I have the 3-minute talk, and I guess I don't get to play all the information I do have, because even up until yesterday and the day before, he was still triggering me by interrupting me. I like talking to people the way I'm talking to you. I don't have to raise my voice because you're not trying to talk on top of me. And he keeps escalating and keeps escalating and keeps pushing buttons until he knows I'm going to trigger her with PTSD, and boom, he gets me kicked out of here. And so yesterday in particular, I was going to ask you to, if you say no, I'm going to ask to make another investigation based on yesterday, because as I sat here and watched him make faces at me and other people, I figured out the solution is to just go ahead and turn around and look at the guy, because when I didn't look at the guy, I was perfectly fine, because I'm not watching somebody mock my disability. And it's really an embarrassment to Clark County to have a public official belittling, especially women, because I've noticed he hasn't done this to any men. But the women, oh gosh, go ahead, do what you want, you dude, you know, because everybody's just going to listen to him. But they really shouldn't, because he's acting like a child. And unfortunately, I have seen we had to do some digging, but we did find, and you have another speaker online in case you haven't noticed, but that there have been different ethics investigations and they've all been denied. And well, that just shows me the consistency of how can everybody be wrong. 6 investigations, I thought, maybe I'm wrong, say 3, 5, I don't know, but they were all turned down. Why? Is everybody always mistaken? Because I am requesting right off the bat, if you say no, I'm filing a different complaint on the past 2 days of absolute ridicule on a disabled woman that has begged to be respected. It's not easy being this hurt and coming and talking and getting made fun of over and over and over. And it is consistent because it's been happening for months, and it's been happening to your own employees. The lack of respect for women in this building is reprehensible.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to issue a comment today?
I don't have anybody in the hearing room, and if there's anybody online, if you can press *3 to raise your hand, I'd be happy to unmute you. If you'd like to make a comment, please press *3 on your phone to raise your hand. I don't see anybody trying to raise their hand to make a comment, Adam.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on then to
The previous speaker, Adam, is asking if she can say 5 seconds more.
yeah, I think we're fine with 5 seconds more. We'll have to keep it short though.
Okay, I'll keep it short. When I left, I had chest pains and I was dizzy, and I hope I don't have a heart attack or stroke because of the stress that this man is putting on me.
Thank you, Ms. De Leon. We appreciate you coming
That-
today.
That concludes public comment.
Okay, thank you. Do we have minutes from the last meeting to approve this week?
I would like to move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
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 Okay, the minutes from the last meeting are approved. We will now go into executive session to receive and evaluate complaints, and then we'll be back here.
It may take me a minute because I'm doing this by phone, but I will go back to my email, look up another number, and is that what I need to do?
Yep. All right, we'll see you there, Barbara.
You there?
Okay. Thank you. Sorry about the confusion.
That's okay.
Ethics Commission would like to announce that they are going to be an additional 5 minutes. They were set to return at 10:31 originally, as they deliberated for 15 minutes. They are now set to return at 10:36. Thank you. Live, but I need a moment to find Barbara in the callers.
Okay.
We have everybody and we're live.
Okay, we're back from executive session. We'll start with consideration of complaint number 2020.
Pardon me,
Yep.
pardon me, Chair Murray, I'm very sorry to interrupt you. There was a person who had tried diligently to sign in and log on and was unable to do so. And when the commission left for executive session, we worked to connect her, or specifically Michelle and Kathleen worked to connect her. So she is now connected, I believe, and was interested in commenting during open public comment, but was unable to do so because she was not connected. I don't know whether you would like to amend the agenda now to take public comment from that person, or whether that is not the commission's desire. But I thought I would bring that before you.
Darcy or Barbara?
I'm fine with,
Fine with
Right.
amending it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. Do we need a motion on this, Chris, or?
That would work.
Okay, do
So
I have a
moved.
motion? Okay,
So moved.
second,
okay, all those in favor of the motion to amend the agenda to allow additional public comments at this time, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Let's go ahead with the public comment.
Caller, you've been unmuted. Please press *6, state your name, and go ahead with your comment.
Thank you. My name is Kimberly Goheen Elben, life citizen of Clark County, Washington, USA. I don't normally do this. In fact, I probably didn't even think about having looking up an ethics committee back when the Clark County Council gave me an illegal trespass letter, only because I'm a patriot and actively exerting my First Amendment rights. So I have a history with them for well over a year and a half, possibly 2 years of actively speaking. So I have a lot of history. I met the complaintee, Carmen DeLeon. She goes by Mello, and I met her a few months ago, and she's a resident of Vancouver there, and so we're doing some things together. So I am witness, live witness to the, and I want to put it on record that the Chair Medvedji has many incidences of verbal abuse to citizens. It has become a pattern. I know a little bit about human nature. He's a past judge. He mentions that all the time on record. So there's many meetings that are on record that I have verbally mentioned on record, not knowing that there was an ethics committee that I could have gone to, that he is consistently taking people's First Amendment rights away, and frankly, he doesn't care about that. The last incident, and I'm going to be putting together something actually for your committee real soon here. I'm pretty busy. I tend to put things off, but I need to do this. I will be making my own ethics complaint towards Chair Gary Medvedji, and I'm going to be putting it on record. I've even warned him. I was on an open public comment, and he interrupted me after 15 seconds. So it's a pattern with me also. I'm letting you know that. Also, as far as ethics, Chair Medvedji, last year I made notes. I don't have my notes in front of me, but I document well that he said we don't want to piss off the public. So I thought, uh-oh, he used a piss off word. Well, I did too, also almost immediately at another meeting probably, was corrected and then corrected him that if you can say it, I can say it. This is a fundamental issue that you're not above me. The public is above you. He also said on, I think Tuesdays or yesterday's, I can't remember, it melts together. He also said the word crap, C-R-A-P. So even though crap doesn't necessarily offend me, when he said he didn't want to piss off the public, that offended me. I don't usually like the word piss off. So, but even though, you know, today's words, there's a lot of words going on. So he's plotting, he's also, and I've put this on record, it's on record, plotting openly of stopping our First Amendment rights under the guise.
Okay, thank you for the comment. We appreciate it. We appreciate you coming in today. We'll now move on to considering complaint number 2024-04 by Carmen De Leon. This complaint involves alleged behavior of a Clark County Council member and the Vancouver City Council and Mayor. It alleges that a Clark County Commissioner told the complainant that she was, quote, mocking the military and bashing the military, and he wasn't going to listen to her. The complaint didn't provide additional details about the hearing, such as the date or a transcript or a recording. I first want to point out that we don't have authority to consider complaints against City of Vancouver officials. Our review is limited to Clark County elected officials, appointed committee or advisory board members, or county employees. And then I also want to kind of go over some of our procedures here a little bit to make sure everyone understands that in our initial review, we determined one of two things. Either one, that the allegations in the complaint do not constitute an ethics violation, or two, that there's sufficient cause to warrant an investigation. Not every grievance constitutes an ethics violation. Some complaints might identify conduct that we don't like or conduct that might violate other standards, but do not violate an ethics rule. So we are here as a commission to enforce very specific rules. We look for a potential violation of the ethics rules adopted in Clark County Code Section 2.07.010. And again, those are Title 42 of the Revised Code of Washington and Clark County Human Resources Policy 13.1. Those are both readily available online, and we're looking into ways to make them even more accessible, hopefully through the Commission's website. Broadly speaking, ethics rules typically prohibit using public positions for personal gain. The rules also prohibit other kinds of conduct. We encourage people filing complaints to please describe very specific conduct of a county official or employee. And ideally, the complainants will also identify specific ethics rules from Title 42 of the Revised Code of Washington or Policy 13.1 that the conduct allegedly violated. From this complaint, I was not able to identify an applicable ethics rule that the alleged comments by the council member would have violated. So I'll be voting that the allegations do not constitute an ethics violation. Darcy or Barbara, do either of you want to say more on this one?
Yes, I agree with your with that conclusion as well. I was not clear on what was going on completely and exactly what ethics violation was being alleged. Additionally, also want to reiterate that we have nothing to do with the city of Vancouver and their activities, ethics violations, or conduct. So I do not believe this constitutes an ethic violation that's defined in our adopted rules in the state of Washington.
I concur. Was that a motion, Barbara?
Yeah, I can make it one. Yes, that's so moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to determine that this complaint does not constitute an ethics violation. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's carried unanimously. So we'll now move on to complaint number 2024-05. This complaint alleges that someone at a county commission meeting was, quote, very derogatory towards someone else at the meeting. The complaint does not clearly identify the speaker or specify what they said or when they said it. It also does not identify a specific ethics rule that prohibits even derogatory comments. I understand the county solicited additional information from Reverend Hawkins, but did not receive it. So given that state of this complaint, at this point, I'll vote that the allegations in the complaint do not constitute an ethics violation. Commissioners?
I agree with your comments, and I'm happy to make a motion unless Barbara has something else to say.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I move that the allegation does not constitute an ethics violation.
Second.
Okay, those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, that's carried also unanimously. Next, this is the last complaint on our list today. It's number 2024-06. This complaint alleges that the Clark County Director of Community Services failed to disclose a conflict of interest when she ordered the award and execution of a no-bid contract for $600,000 to the Community Foundation of Southwest Washington, where she serves as an officer on the board. Without getting too granular at this initial stage, I do note that several of our ethical rules do prohibit certain conflicts of interest in connection with contract awards or require the disclosure of potential conflicts. A county official can serve in their county position and on the board of an organization like the Community Foundation without committing an ethical violation. However, the county official steps into potentially problematic ethical territory where the two positions cross paths, particularly in the ward of public contracts. So again, at this stage, we consider whether there's sufficient cause to warrant an investigation. And I stated in our last meeting that I believe that sufficient cause exists when a reasonable person with knowledge of all the facts would conclude that the complaint describes conduct that may violate one or more ethical rules. In my view, that standard's met here because the director may have the kind of interest in the Community Foundation that conflicts with her role in awarding it a public contract, and she may or may not have adhered to rules that may have required her to disclose that interest in a particular way or to take some other action to avoid an ethical violation. I don't think we can tell from everything that's in this complaint whether or not that occurred. So I'll be voting here that there is sufficient cause to warrant an investigation. With the clarification that we're not saying that an ethical violation occurred here, we just need more information.
I agree with Chair Murray. I just believe we have inadequate information at this point.
I agree, and I move that we look further and have more information obtained so that we can clarify what may or may not have taken place. That was probably a pretty unclear motion, but
So, thanks, Barbara. We have a motion to vote that there's sufficient cause to warrant an investigation of this complaint. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Okay, again, carried unanimously to move that one into investigation. So, since we voted that there is sufficient cause to warrant an investigation on one complaint, we asked the HR director to arrange a qualified investigation of that complaint. And then just going over our procedural rules a bit, the HR director will then present that investigation to us in executive session, after which we'll return to an open public meeting to determine whether the allegations do not constitute an ethics violation, or that, in our third step, a hearing will be held on the complaint. So for everybody who's listening and in attendance, I direct everyone to the ethics complaint business process that's posted on our commission website for further procedural details.
Is there anyone there?
All right, so do we have anything else for the good of the order today?
No.
Chair Murray, this is Laura, sorry. I just wanted to update you that we are working to get both the charter link, so county charter, and the HR policy, things of that nature that we discussed at the last meeting, more accessible through your guys' webpage. And that should be done by the end of this week.
Great. Can that, Laura, can that include a link to the RCWs?
We absolutely can take a look at that and
Okay.
get that available as well. That might take a little longer than Friday, but we will identify and get those put out there as well.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, anything else for the good of the order?
No, not for me.
Not for me.
Our next regular meeting is Tuesday, August 20th at 2:30. Another hybrid meeting at which I imagine if additional complaints come in, we'll handle them. We may or may not have an investigation completed by that time. And so I will see you all in August.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good month, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.